like, bro, yeah, she got a kid. Look at his back. Oh my God.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to another reaction. This is how Joey Diaz accidentally kidnapped a drug dealer. This is a 30-minute long video, so again, probably going to break this up into parts, maybe. Probably won't end up reacting to the whole John, but, you know, react to most of it, you know what I mean? Joey Diaz, funny as hell, man. I actually just went on kind of a binge of his videos a few days ago. You know, he's always just been a character, you know what I'm saying? Like the stories he has from when he was a young kid coming from Cuba to New Jersey, you know, to just his life is just insane, man. Like honestly, he can turn into a show if he could get that backing behind him. And I think a lot of people will be willing to watch that because the stuff that he went through was just insane. Like the stories he have, you know, you can only kind of wish to live a life like that. We can kind of have like all these crazy ass campfire stories for you and your grandkids. Be like, damn, granddad was a level 99 mob boss, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Uncle Joey, funny as hell. We actually have a Joey Diaz playlist, so make sure you go check out the playlist on our channel. Jesse Lee Peterson, Jordan Peterson, Hodge twins. You got a playlist for almost all the reactions we've done all in the same place. So if you want to make sure you haven't reacted to anything you already want us to see, go check there. Check out LB Gaming, check out 412 Show. I'm gonna hop right in.
For robbing a drug dealer, but you kidnap someone during the robbery, so you get arrested for the kidnapping.
No, I didn't know it was kidnapping. I thought kidnapping was I got to bring you to my house, send your uncle a note, and tell him I got your ear, and give me $250,000. That's what I thought kidnapping was.
Okay,
right?
so what was this?
See, the problem was there was no Law and Order. See, when Law and Order came on, now I know everything I could do and can't do. Right? I'm the Law and Order motherfucker. Right? Not a Law and Order SVU. I'm not a tree jumper. I'm a Law and Order. I like to steal, do drugs, and fucking whatever. So I didn't know what kidnapping was. So I get to Boulder. I'm trying to get my life together. I join up for classes at the University of Colorado.
Okay.
I'm not at Colorado Mountain College no more. I'm at the University of Colorado with a GED.
Let's go.
No college, no high school diploma. They were like, yeah, we'll give you whatever you want. I'm paying for classes. They're not even doing no background checks.
Yeah.
And one day I'm at the Subaru place. I'm selling Subarus like a mother. And one of the guys that got fired, he got fired for something. He came back. And I go, what the fuck you been? He goes, I got fired. And he had like a black eye. And I go, what's the black eye from? And he goes, it's a long story. I go, we got nothing but time. And he goes, listen to what happened. He goes, I got a DUI. I crashed against a tree. And when they brought me to the hospital, the pharmacy door was open. So he broke into the pharmacy. He took all the pills and cocaine. He jumped out a window, and they caught him like 2 days later.
Wow.
So now he's going to do time. So he goes, I'm staying with this guy, and he's got 2 kilos of coke. I'm going to steal it from him, and so you can help me sell it. And then I'm going to move to Arizona so I don't have to do this time. And I'm like, I'm living in Boulder. It's fun. I got a nice girlfriend. You know, I got a dog. I got a job. But my friends are in New York City.
Getting it in.
Getting it on.
Yeah.
They're coming to the city on the weekends. They're going to hunt the mountain on the weekends to ski and snort. They were telling me they threw a bag of coke out on a Friday, and when they came back, all the deer were dead on Sunday. You know, it was like, I'm out here with these fucking yokels trying to be a fucking American. And my friends are lighting their balls on fire. Their parents are calling me, have you heard from my son? I'm like, no. My friends' parents are calling me in Colorado going, I haven't seen Anthony in a week. He went out to get a pack of cigarettes. I'm like, dog, they're in Hunter the Mountain, getting it on. So I was like, you know what? This girl is great, but she's not going to be my wife. I'm going to help this dude do it. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to help him. I'm going to rob him.
You're going to rob the guy who asked you.
Wow. Yeah.
You're a lunatic,
because
Joey.
he could, there was no way he could do nothing. So I called my crazy friend here, and he couldn't make it out. He was fucking unloading planes somewhere in Colombia. I called one of my crazy friends here. So I had to go to a guy that I worked with at an auto body shop before I sold cars. He was like a biker. You know, he had everything. This is why I don't like modern times. He had everything. He had the tattoo. the sunglasses, the Harley bicycle,
Yeah.
anything to be cool. The pit bull,
Yeah.
tinted windows, the loud stereo. He had everything to be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I gonna do? I got to use somebody. I can't take this guy down by myself. So I asked him, and he had a problem. He used to go to strip clubs. He was in love with a stripper, right? But I mean, in love with a stripper.
Hell no.
And she left her husband, but she wouldn't. She danced at a nude club, but she couldn't sleep with my friend Steve until she got a divorce. So she wanted him to pay 20 grand for the divorce. So this guy wanted the pussy, so that was his motivation.
Come on,
In
bro.
fact, she moved into his house and he had to sleep on the couch while she slept on the bed by herself.
Wow.
She had no intention of fucking this retard.
She just wanted that divorce
She just
money.
wanted that divorce
Oh,
money.
my God.
Played.
She's like, I'm a Catholic. I can't sleep with a man if I'm still married. And he's like, well, you dance naked every night and put your asshole in people's faces. What's the fucking difference, you know?
Wow.
So that was our connection.
So this is the guy that you're basically bringing on to go rob this dude.
Yeah.
And you already know he's a goofy.
I knew it was a goofy, but in my cocaine mind, just what I had going on, I wanted to believe this was going to work.
Yeah.
And then comes D-Day. In fact, I just got a root canal on Saturday on the tooth that the dentist fixed that morning before I kidnapped him. Because I had a dental appointment that morning. The dentist even said, I go, last time I worked on this tooth was November 18th, 87. He's like, that's interesting. How did you remember that? I go, that's the day I kidnapped the guy. He just kept drilling. So I went to the dentist. And I remember calling him and going, we'll be over there with the money, you know, to buy the 2 kilos from you. He was going to be my partner. I was a middleman. He was going to buy the coke from Kent, all right? So I was the middleman. I was going to bring him over there. They were going to sample it, and then we're going to go back to Steve's house, and Steve was going to give him the money, and we're going to rob the coke. We weren't going to give him any money. We're going to put him on a bus to Arizona, give him like 10 grand, and get the fuck out.
Oh, you were going to give him a couple bucks?
Yeah. It wasn't going to be a complete robbery with kicking and all of that stuff. It was just going to be a simple thing. Bella wasn't a heavy, I wasn't a heavy, and Steve wasn't a heavy. Steve got so greedy, he fucked it up. At the intro, he pulled out the guns.
Wow. Fucking
Okay, so
dickhead.
real quick, break down the setup. Steve is, which one is the
Before we
Hell's
do a
Angel?
setup,
Yeah.
can I slip and peek?
Okay, set this robbery up for us. You have the
I
Hell's
didn't know how
Angel.
much time I had, so I didn't want to get into something that
Oh,
was...
you got all the time in the world.
Okay.
We got all day, baby.
Okay, so you have, who's the Hell's Angel? What's his name?
His name was Steve.
Okay,
He
so
wasn't the
you
Hells
have Steve.
Angels. He was like
He
a fucking...
wannabe.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who's the mark?
Kent.
Kent. Okay, so you and Steve go to meet up with Kent, and then break it down. So the idea
Okay, I
is...
go to the dentist's office. This is the whole story. I go to the dentist's office. I go home. I call Kent. It was supposed to go down at 1 o'clock. It's about 11 o'clock now. I call Kent, and he tells me, come pick me up. So I go to his house. And the weird thing was when I went to his house, I noticed it was across the street from the halfway house. There was a halfway house in Bold. And I looked at it, I go, that's fucking weird. He lives across the street from the halfway house. So I went upstairs. He's like, you want to do a line of coke before we go? I go, yeah. He goes, we'll go over there. I'll give him a sample. He'll give me the money, and then I'll come back here and get the coke, and we'll all disperse. You give him back the coke, and well, that's it. Okay. So when I'm there, he shows me a grinder. He was doing coke out of a grinder. The grinder was filled with coke, and there was an ounce of coke in a baggie in the drawer. And he also showed me where there was 2 grand. He goes, I got 2 grand here. Okay, so, and I go, where's the coke? And he goes, in the ceiling. It was one of those drop ceilings that you slide up. Okay. So when I get there, he shows me everything. And we do a couple lines. Then I get in the car and I drive him to where we're, like a 7-minute drive. We get to the house. As soon as we walk in, this motherfucker pulls his guns out. The deal was, let's get everything going. When you go back to get the coke, that's when you rob us both.
Yeah.
That's when I pull a
You're
gun.
innocent.
Even if you're with him, I'm going to rob you. I'm going to smack you.
Yeah.
Just so he'll never say, well,
Yeah.
how did he know?
Yeah.
He fucking smacked me.
Yeah.
You know, so I thought I was... So when I walked in there, he pulled guns on both of us. And then he pulls the gun out and goes, Joey, tie him up. And I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. So I'm like, what the fuck? So now we got this kid, and the kid's like, Joey, what the fuck? I put him in the room. I fucking go out and talk to him. I go over there. I didn't tell him what a Coke was. I told him that there was shit over there. I wanted to see what he was going to come back with. Sure enough, he played into it. He came back. He said there was only $200 in an 8-ball. But his mother was a big-time realtor, and we were in one of her houses.
Hold on, did everybody just get that?
Wow.
You know there's 2,000. He tells what is the guy's name, Steve? Steve to go about he doesn't tell him where the Coke is, the 2,000 and then the ounce. He goes, there was only 200. So he's trying to get over on you, that son of a bitch.
So now, when he comes back, he goes, there was only 200, maybe like an 8-ball. So I go, really?
Oh, that's
so
right.
he's like, what are we going to do? Where
like,
is it? I don't know, but I tell you what. I go, I got to go. I go, you just tried to fuck with me. No, I didn't. I'm telling you, there was more. So we got into a little argument. He goes to me, if you leave, I'm going to shoot you. And I knew this guy was going to shoot me. I just knew. I go, I've never been wrong with that kind of stuff about judging a man like that. I was
if you're wrong once,
I was around savages.
Yeah.
I know if this guy's going to shoot me or
savage,
not.
Yeah.
And as I walk to the car, he don't shoot me. And I go outside, and I got a gun under my tire that I had from my Aspen days. I had a beautiful 9mm I wasn't giving up. So right there, I was like, you know what, man? I've always wanted to shoot a motherfucker in the leg. Like, I've always wanted to shoot a motherfucker in the leg, like just to see their reaction and the whole thing. And I was like, and I was ready to shoot. And I go, you know what, man? I'm just going to get the fuck out of here. And I got in the car and I went back to Vela's apartment. And I fucking kicked the door down.
Vela's?
The kid that was the mark.
Oh, Steve.
Steve was the thief.
Ken. Sorry, Ken.
So Vela's the mark.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck this. I'm going to go back and get the Coke. He said he didn't get it. I knew exactly where the Coke was. So I ran back, fucking walked past the doorman. The doorman's like, hey. I go, I was just here. And I basically went upstairs with no keys, and I kicked that fucking door down like a gorilla. And then I jumped up and I ripped that fucking ceiling down because it was a drop ceiling, so you could just tear it down. I fucking ripped it down, heart's beating, my hands are bleeding from fucking pulling it down, and 2 bundles land in the middle, wrapped with Colombian newspaper. I took those motherfuckers and I ran the fuck out of there. And across from the halfway house, there was a newspaper thing where you put a quarter in, open it, and take the newspaper out. Guys, look underneath. Whenever you see those, look underneath. In the 80s, that's how we used to drop off Coke. There's a bottom compartment in there that you never look at. So I put the kilos of Coke there because I thought the cops were on me. And I called my brother. He went over there, picked up the kilos, and took them to Aspen. Wow. I kept like maybe an ounce for the night because I wanted to party, see what the fuck was going on. Then that night, 8 o'clock, they knock on my door. Tidwell knocks on my door again. He's got Bell in the trunk of a car. And he goes, what am I going to do with him? I go, I don't know. Figure it the fuck out. Not my problem anymore. You tried to rob me. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I need that $20,000 for my girlfriend. She needs a divorce. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. He goes, I got another guy. There's a guy that's got a pound of hash. Let's go rob him. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I went to a bar, had a couple drinks, snorted some Coke, and went home, not thinking anything. And the next morning, I'm sleeping on the couch, and the guy knocks on my door, and he goes, bro, the dealership is surrounded by cops. They're coming over here to get you. Get the fuck out of here. One of the lot guys. And I got I didn't have a car then. I went across the street and called my girlfriend and said, listen, the cops are looking for me. Blah, 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 blah. And as I'm across the fucking street, I'm looking at the cops breaking into my house.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking at this shit. Wow. I'm like, wow.
I'm gonna cap right there. Yeah, damn. That's what I'm saying. Like, his stories are insane. And just the shit that he was going through was just like a movie almost, you know what I mean? Like, imagine watching your house getting broken into by a platoon of policemen, you know what I mean? Joey Diaz is a whole different animal. This is only part 1. We're definitely going to continue the rest of this. We actually get pretty far into it, so I think we'll be able to finish it out in the next one, pretty much. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and share, man. Road to 10K. Check out the 412 show. Check out LB Gaming. We'll see you next time. Peace.